So before we get into this video, I'll just like to reintroduce the shout out contest, where I will give a shout out to one lucky winner at the beginning of every single video. If you would like to enter to win a shout out, all you need to simply do is make sure you've subscribed, liked the video, shared with friends and family and all social media, and leave a comment down in the comment section on what you enjoyed about the video and suggestions for future videos. Thank you. Enjoy.
Zombie apocalypse.
Good morning, good afternoon and good evening everyone. How's it going? Sasha here, and today we're doing yet another life story video on the channel. You all love it when I do these, and it was the most popular suggestion on my suggestion video, and it's a popular theme on my channel, so I hope you enjoy. Let's see if we can get 25 likes, and if we do, that'll be insane. So for some stupid reason, every single interesting thing that happens at my junior school, like seriously what is up with my school now, filled with salty faggots, some of them. So yeah, at this school, you start at the age of around 7 and you leave at the age of 11. So at this embarrassing point in my life, I was in year 4, so I'd have been about 8 or 9 years old. But to be completely honest with you guys, I can't actually remember. So yeah, I was year 4 and we had, you know, your average maths lesson with a supply teacher who I actually liked. He was decent, to be honest. So anyway, every maths lesson we used to come into our class, sit down on our seats, and you always used to have this multiplication grid in front of us, and with our tables by ourselves, whatever, we had to fill these multiplication grids out. Because we were young at the time, the highest thing, the most difficult thing we could do was 12 times 12, and we did this every single maths lesson, so it got pretty easy at the end. But I remember I had to go to the toilet, like, desperately. This is right after first break, so I mean, I can understand why it would be annoying for the teachers if as soon as literally 30 seconds after break I come in to class and I'm like, you know what, sir, I need to go to the toilet. So he's like, okay, alright, just finish your multiplication grid and then you can go. And usually we were given, I don't know, 5-10 minutes to do this, but you got to remember I was young, so it was very difficult for me to hold things in, as you know, my body parts were weak. So yeah, I was like, fair enough, I'm going to do my grid and I'll be allowed to go. But the fear and discomfort I was in was literally taking over me, and I couldn't concentrate or anything, so I begged that the person sat next to me would hurry up and I'll just copy her, but she took her bloody time. Once she was done, I fucking rushed that grid like I was signing up for some Cold War in Luxembourg. I literally screamed, "Sir, let me go for a piss." Like, no joke, that is quite literally what I said. And he replied with, "Yeah, sure, Sasha, just right after everyone's finished and we've marked it." And as you could probably tell, I was not a happy kid. Like, seriously, you can't keep an 8-year-old holding on for so long when he clearly needs to use the toilet, you know. But Mr. Slap My Balls on Your Face here wasn't having any of it, and decided to keep me waiting and waiting. And it honestly made me feel like he was wanting this to happen as some sort of sign to say, "Hey, Sasha, there's a break for a reason, you heavily pubescent mongrel." But let me just state, back then I sound like a goddamn squeaker on helium, but I had no hair on my bollocks, just like, what was I? And can I just add that I just went for a poo now, and I don't think I'll wipe properly because all I can smell is my anus and it reeks of poo. Anyhow, I was literally sat on my knees on this chair with my legs crossed and shaking. I had PTSD, like I was non-stop quivering, which is the feeling you'd get if some man came up to you and touched you, like I was getting abused. And by now the whole table that I sat on was worried for me, knowing that it could be a matter of seconds before my bladder explodes. And I was there looking so stressed and angry and upset, I couldn't do anything, and the weight was literally killing me. And by this point it literally had been 15-20 minutes. So it now came to the point where I couldn't function correctly anymore, and I just couldn't control myself. I had to let it go. I pissed myself. So I literally was just sat there with the most blank and meaningless expression on my face as I just flat out of my pants because I pissed myself. The girl who sat next to me, oh my, do I feel sorry for her. She got up, and to be honest, what she did was slightly harsh and she could have been nicer about it, but came up to the teacher and said out loud for the whole bloody world to hear, "Sasha wet himself." And what really got on my nerves was that he quickly turned and said, "Oh no, Sasha, you didn't." And I remember exactly how he said it, and the look on his face. It was all a mixture of anger, disappointment and somewhat disgust. And I'm thinking to myself, you better stop looking at me and speaking to me in that tone, you toe bag. You are the reason why this happened, you hypocrite. And I remember a supply/TA was called in to escort me somewhere, and my seat had to be cleaned and my trousers had to be changed. And I remember everyone looking at me in utter silence, and then the laughs started to come in, and they came in hard. They really hit me emotionally. I was walking out of the classroom, getting stared at by around 30 kids, either laughing or just staying silent, and I was in tears. I was crying so much. I think the reason why I was crying was because the laughs and looks and comments I was getting, rather than the fact that I heavily damaged my social life by wetting myself at school. Now, I'm not going to waste any more of your time, so let's cut this end bit completely short. So basically, I've never been given the chance to forget about the story until I joined secondary school, but now I just take it as a laugh and a joke, to be honest, and I honestly don't care. We all have embarrassing stories about ourselves, and I'm glad I just have the confidence to share it with others and make them laugh without getting affected myself. Maybe that's why you will enjoy these story videos, because it feels more personal, because I like sharing the most wackiest, weirdest, most embarrassing stories about me, and I just want to share it with you all because I want you to enjoy yourself. You can enjoy what I say. It's what I like to do. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you really enjoyed that video as much as I did, and if you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, share the video and channel with friends and family, as we're trying to do the thing where I test whether I need a new channel or not. Hopefully I won't. And remember, if you want to win the shout out, you need to do all the steps that I said right at the beginning of the video, and I hope you all have a great time. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.